Welcome back everyone to another race recap video. This is going to be for the DFW Summer Series, race number 5, intermediate category. This race had the introduction of a new addition to the race course. We'll go into detail about that a little bit later. Probably wondering why that rider on the right is blurred out in this video. He has some old bibs, showing a little bit of butt crack. For the start shoot here, played it a little bit conservative, still trying to feel that out in terms of races, whether to take the whole shot or not. Just not sure if that really gains you an advantage for a race course such as this. What I mean by that is that in this direction there is no technical features right out of the gate, so there's really nobody or nothing to get in your way. And so there's no advantage, in my opinion, to taking a whole shot right out of the gate. And so that's why I didn't for this race. Another small change to the race course is going to be this portion right here. Adds a little bit of a passing zone going up and around the tree here. It's just a hairpin turn that allows for that tiny extension of the course in general. It is a nice addition, in my opinion. Going to be speeding up the video here, just trying to get more concise for my viewers of these, so you're not watching anything that's boring. Nothing really happens for this first portion of the race. Positions stay the same. At this time, I am in 4th place. If you remember, the 2 younger riders have already taken off on the front there, so they're quite a bit ahead of the pack. As we get towards the last half, or I should say the last quarter of the loop coming up, that is going to be the new addition. It's going to be starting right here. Usually you turn right and end up in an open field. This time around the race course goes through these trees here. It's a lot more technical in terms of just routes that you got to climb over and whatnot, and tree gates to go through. And we're going to have a little bit of a pile up here in about 5 seconds or so. This portion you can either go right or left. You'll see here you can go right or left. I go right following the other rider. He gets hung up on a route in front of me. That causes me to stop, which causes a pile up behind me, and the rider behind me endos. He ends up being okay. He finishes the race no problem, so there were no serious injuries there. I do like the addition of this portion of the race course, being that it allows those with a little bit more technical prowess to use that to their advantage. Right now I'm not able to. I do believe I'm a little bit more of a technically experienced rider compared to the competition, at least in this race. There's not a lot of opportunity for passing, so I'm just stuck behind these 2 other riders now. I have lost a position due to that pile up that happened just moments ago, so now I'm in 5th as opposed to being in 4th. There is going to be a turn coming up here that gets you back onto the original race course, and that actually ends up working to my advantage, and I'll explain that in just a second here. And so you go over these little whoop-de-doos here. You're going to go down towards the creek and then a sharp right turn. So we're going to go down here and hang a right. And then as you come to the top of this short 3-pedal stroke climb, you go right here instead of left. If you go left, you end up actually going through the rest of Irwin Park, which is not part of the race course. Unbeknownst to me at this time, the 2 fastest riders, the 2 younger riders at the beginning of the video, actually missed that turn at this point, which none of us knew about. So now at this point you're looking at the top 3 of the intermediate race here in the first lap, with me being 3rd. This tiny little portion right here is new as well because it links up with the older portion right here where that sign is. So now we're back on the original race course that has been used for the past races. One thing I am trying to improve on as well as is passing as soon as possible. And what I mean by that is, if you're able to stay on the wheel of the rider in front of you, it's most likely, or more likely than not, that you're able to be faster than them. And so there's really no advantage to following their wheel this closely, because the rider in front of all of you, let's say the lead rider, is at an advantage at this point. They are gaining distance, and you're essentially holding yourself back if you're not taking that pass. Thankfully this time I realized that, and so I made this pass here to get past that other rider in order to catch up to that lead rider at the front. I did a little bit of reading on that, just something I didn't recognize in terms of there's no point in holding a rider's wheel, especially in these single track races. You just got to pass as soon as possible. If you don't, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So I'm fast forwarding here, nothing really changes in terms of positioning. So I'm in second, trying to catch up to that lead rider, which I do here in the green jersey. On this northern section of the course, it's just that little triple climb area that I call. It's really not a triple climb for this revision of the course. There's really only 2 climbs because it drops down into the trees, into that technical single track. I have noticed as these races have progressed, I'm a little bit faster on the downhills, just a little bit more comfortable. Also being that I'm a little bit of a bigger rider, I'm able to use that to my advantage in going faster. And so I'm trying to use that in those sections in order to gain that advantage in terms of speed. So we're finishing up the second lap here, climbing up to the top. I am feeling gassed. You can see at this point I'm at 192 beats per minute. We got 1 lap to go. I'm able to hang on to this rider's tail, but don't feel comfortable passing just yet. However, as I mentioned previously, being able to tail this rider for this long, I realized that I probably should make a pass, which I do right here. Making that pass sooner rather than later in the race, this being the final lap. I don't want to save that pass to the end, as there is always a chance that the rider that you're passing at the very end is going to make it so you're not able to pass. So might as well get that out of the way ASAP. At this point in the race, I still think I'm in third, not knowing that those 2 other riders missed the turn. So I'm actually in first. And so I'm not going really hardcore here because I know, or I'm thinking that I can't catch up to those riders. The rider behind me, I'm able to gain some distance on through this climbing area just a little bit quicker through these tiny little punchy climbs in the northern section of the course. So we're going to speed up towards the end here. Nothing else really happens, just holding that first position. I will say that I do like the addition of this technical aspect, if I haven't mentioned that already. I think I did earlier. It just adds another element to the race course, which I really enjoy. Also adds a little bit of shade for when it's hot. So my heart rate sensor is not reading correctly again. I'm not at 120 beats per minute here at the end of the race. But we come up towards the end here, and I actually end up getting first. Probably going to be my only first for the series based on the competition. But that rounds out race number 5 of the DFW Summer Series intermediate category. Thanks for watching.